So today the topics will be talking about how to test an electrical motor. An electrical motor normally turns electrical energy into mechanical energy, and this energy we can use to run a pump, a fan, compressor, gear, pulley, etc. We'll try to discuss on only three-phase induction motor. Parts of a three-phase induction motor: stator, rotor shaft, ventilator, the protective cover of the ventilator, and the wiring or the cable box. We can see here how a three-phase induction motor are connected inside. This is the U1, the wiring, the winding are connected, then it is coming to the U2, V1 then connected to the V2, and W1 are connected to the W2. These all three wiring connected 120 degree. This is the basics of an electrical motor, why the motor turns. And the L1, L2, L3, these are the power lines, the supply lines to the motor. This motor is connected in star configuration because U2, V2 and W2 are connected with a plate, small plate. Next one, we can see the motor terminals, delta configuration. Here the E1 W2, then V1 U2 and W1 V2, these are connected with three small plates. When a three-phase induction motor becomes too hot and it burns, we can see it like this. This is a normal windings. During the production, motor runs continuously and it becomes hot, so we require the ambient air to get inside and to cool down. With the help of the ventilator, the air forces inside. So let's check what are the abnormalities on the motor. During running, maybe we can hear vibration and abnormal noise, heating up of the motor abnormally, any circuit breaker may be cut off, motor doesn't run when we switch on. These are the problems normally we face, and how we can test them. The first and foremost test is visual inspection. We have to check visually, maybe some burning smell comes out, maybe some parts damage. Then mechanically checks, we have to switch off the power connection to the motor. You have to open the protective cover of the ventilator and we can turn the ventilator to check if it blocks or it can turn without any problem. If it blocks, maybe the bearings are damaged. And electrically failure means we are trying to switch on the motor with the push button, but the motor doesn't run, or the motor runs but after a few times, after a few minutes maybe or few hours, the overcurrent relay or the short circuit trips, any of the circuit breaker trips. To test a motor, we require a multimeter. And there are two types of test: offline test and the online test. In offline test, the wires like U1, U2, then V1, V2 and W1, W2, we have to check if the wires are not broken, means continuity test. The the multimeter have to keep in continuity. Then the wires are not short circuited, they're not connected to each other. This is the resistance test. The multimeter have to be in resistance. Earth fault test means any of the wire is not connected to the motor body. This is a huge failure of the motor. It is a fatal cause. Then other two tests are on supply current test. The motor has to be powered, main switch has to be switched on. So we have to test with a clamp meter or ampere meter. All the three lines L1, L2 and L3 are getting same amount of current. They're consuming the same current, and the voltage difference between E1 V1 or E1 W1 V1 W1 are same. Here we can see I have a video also. Next you can see U1 U2 V1 V2 W1 W2. Beep sound means there is continuity on the circuit, no wires are broken. Then short circuit fault to test, the resistance are all same, there is no abnormality. And the third test, insulation resistance test, like this one you can do any of the wiring. In the motor terminal you can touch one knob of the multimeter in U1 V1 W1 and the other one U2 W2 and V2, like one knob here or here and the other knob in the motor body. So there should be huge resistance like infinity or huge mega ohm. Then ampere test, if all three phases carrying the same current, L1, L2 and L3, you have to connect a clamp meter and you have to check how much current they are taking. We have here 0.33 ampere, 0.34 ampere, but almost they're same. Voltage test, in three phases voltage difference should be same. E1 V1, V1 W1, E1 and W1, we have here 400 volt, depends how much current, how much supply current you have. And the voltage test, you can have E1 to neutral, V1 to neutral and W1 to neutral. If the motor is connected to the star connection, then you keep a knob of the multimeter here and other knob once, maybe in E1 then V1 and then W1, and you get 240 volt here. In the motor we have a plate where it is written the parameters or the data of the motor. You can see also there the connection volt, the ampere, the current consumption, the resistance it can carry, resistance of the windings. Now we have a video here. Here we can see how to test. This is a continuity test. You can hear the beep sound, means all the wires are okay, they are not broken inside. Now resistance test, to check if the wires are not short circuited, if they are not connected to each other. See, we get here also same amount of resistance, means the wires are not connected with each other. Then comes the earth fault test. We have to put knob in the terminal box one and the other knob in the motor body, and we get here open loop, means there is no connection with the motor body. So all tests we found are okay here.